Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Last Word. When we left off, we learned a lot of stuff. I've got a ton of topics to talk about, but we want to talk about Private Prattle because I believe that is going to be the trigger for Miss Prattle. So let's gossip about that. I never knew Private Prattle personally, but Mr. McCall is about his age. I wouldn't doubt they frequent some of the same circles. Well, thank you for that lovely information. What about you? Private Prattle was never an exceptional soldier, but he is adequate and quite famous for his lineage. Having him was a boost of sorts. So long as the Prattles hold representation in the armed forces, our military gets respect. Nobody seemed to remember him very well, did they? They're like, he was okay, but he didn't really do much. No, I don't want to talk to Miss Prattle. Get out of my way. I'm going to talk to Mr. McCall. Yeah, let's talk. Miss Prattle's son? I know him. We both sort of grew up together. The McCalls and the Prattles have been pretty close for a few decades. He has a fairly scandalous history, though. He went AWOL. Moreover, he left to run off with a rather rich older lady. Ooh, you might know of her. Miss Seymour of the Seymour House? Pardon? Really? We need to do some talking, buddy. We need to do some talking. So, you've heard. It's rather embarrassing. Mother ran off with the Prattle heir, and he's younger than me. Oh, God, that's just wrong on so many levels. Not only that, but she took most of the house's finances and left me in charge. Me of all people, I've been useless for years. Oh, she just wants the house to go down. Needless to say, the house has been dipping into obscurity for some time now. The Seymour House has been practically dissolved into obscurity at this point. It's not my favorite topic. If Mother hadn't taken all our money and left with that Private Prattle, we might still be squeaking by somehow. Possibly. Okay. Is that enough info for us? Or do I need to... Maybe I can talk to, Mr. McCall about the Seymour House. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, let's talk. That's right, I recall fairly vividly now. Private Prattle always admired older women. Running off with Miss Seymour was a classic move. I really can't blame the fellow. Miss Seymour was quite the sight. Oh yeah? That's kind of gross, actually. Please, let's not. Do you know anything about that? I had no idea that the head of the Seymour house had eloped with Private Prattle. All that matters is that Private Prattle was a disappointment. To leave your patriotic duty in the name of love and dreams is a military sin. I can't respect it. Hell, huh? Okay, you're still talking about that Chatter's history thing. Okay, what about... Yes, let's gossip. Seymour's a right mess when it comes to handling the Seymour house, but he doesn't have much of a choice, eh? But if you think Miss Seymour stole the family funds to run off with the Prattle boy, you're mistaken. The Seymour house was bankrupt. The truth of the matter is she agreed to sell the estate to Professor Chatters to get the money they needed to elope. Say what? This mansion is in fact the old Seymour estate. You can't trick an old gentleman like me. I've been here a million times over the years. Say what? Are you serious? Oh, that professor. He's made a fine purchase in buying the Seymour house. The servant leaves a bit to be desired, though. I've heard that Chatters gives free rein to his servants when guests are making appearances. I've also heard that this servant is the only one the professor still employs. That explains why it's so calm in here. It's no secret the professor was an inspiration to many truths, but mostly to the ones with lesser minds, shall we say. His professorly liberal thinking was easy for the mindless followers to, indeed, follow, and some even left their rank due to his manipulation. Private Prattle, who is an endless source of this type of meaningless gossip, is one such person. He was led by Colonel Chatters personally. Okay, more than one person left the forces after being influenced by the professor's liberal attitudes. His mentality was viral. If Chatters wasn't so useful, we might have dismissed him. Prattle would still be in the armed forces then, for whatever that's worth. Okay. Should I... There's a lot of different things we can talk about now. Let's talk about Private Prattle. The fact that Private Prattle left the military to pursue his childless dreams is downright absurd. Knowing that Chatters was in some way responsible for this is even more disappointing. His charming smile. Yeah, that's clearly what it was. So much gossip to be had. Private Prattle and Professor Chatters were awfully close, they say. Before he went AWOL, he and the professor mingled quite a bit. Maybe he got manipulated into doing it. I mean, did we ever think about that? Private Prattle always looked up to his superiors in the military. It's no surprise that the great inventor inspired him to go after his dreams. I don't think it's that simple. That's just me, though. It's true that the Seymour house was, or is, penniless. The sale of this estate might have been of use if Miss Seymour stuck around. The Seymours have plenty of estates to sell, but not many would believe the price and prestige of the official home the Seymour family has, okay? Professor Chatters must have paid a fortune, but why? He must really like this dusty old place. No, there's got to be something else. Tell me, machine, why are you here? Why did they pick this house? Is this cat one of the Seymour cats? Probably not. I hate that Chatters bought the estate, but I suppose someone would have. It's a weird experience being back. Oh, okay. Can we talk about this later, maybe after I finish this next class? Oh, come on. Yes! Let's unlock that topic. You know him? He's a rather poor servant as far as servants goes. He barely respects the servant's code, if that's what they call it. I'm pretty sure he tended to me when I was younger. Maybe back around 6 years ago and earlier. I don't really remember too well. I was a bit pampered and it never occurred to me that servants had... names? Faces. Oh! I should punch you in your face. I have a problem of not looking people in the eye when I talk to them. I've gotten better about that now that I'm the Master Seymour house, but it's tough. I've always been a bit more introverted. These social interactions can be taxing. Mother didn't help by keeping me constantly sheltered from public appearances, and being as spoiled as I was, I barely noticed servants. Yet you recognize this one. It's hard not to. He has a fairly distinct attitude. I think I can recall his voice more than anything. Especially with the voice I gave him. We'll just have to keep our heads up and our wits about us. Try not to worry so much. I'll try. Okay. I think we're making some progress now. Save. I still don't know what I should be doing with all my money. All my $30 of money. Hello, cat. Meow. What do I want to do? I could buy some more bows. There's the wine tasting. There's the piercing gaze. Which I really don't need right now because I don't have any other bows. So we could do the wine tasting and get a lot more experience and money that way, which we could then use to purchase said bows. Let's see. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I might wait for now. I don't want to waste all my money. Ah, crap. I already talked to you about whatever I just clicked you on. Okay, so now we have the topic of the servant, right? No? I thought we did. Let's talk about the Seymour house.
Hey.
Nope, not to you.
Oh.
I don't think I can talk to you about that. Alrighty then. Can I talk to the servant himself? Hey. How's it going? No? Oh yeah, I forgot I could do more of these. I just don't know if I need them right now. Gain 5, 10, or 15 power bonus when landing conversation cursor on reddish pegs. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Again, I don't have the bows to really accomplish anything like that, so what's the point? I could buy another thing for the wine tasting, but I don't think I have a level 3 yet. I think I'm at level 2. So that really won't help too much. Can we talk to you now?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we unlocked it. Yes. Okay, cool. He must have some merits. Your son was quite taken by his influence, wasn't he? What could you possibly know of my son? From what I hear, the professor inspired many people to leave the armed forces. Your son was no exception.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Don't sound so flustered. Everyone knows that he left the military prematurely to run off with the head of the Seymour house. The sale of this estate enabled them to elope. Elope? Horrid! Absurd! Treacherous! You can't possibly believe that my young boy would take part in such a ridiculous scandal. He's still working for our great country, proudly making his father proud. Yeah, there's hardly a point to contest. This is the reality of it. Your assertions are incorrect, you trollop. Okay, it's time to battle. Oh, sweet lord, she's stronger than I am. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat her. Okay, well, I guess we can try. That's all we can do, right, is try. I might be able to do this. I might be able to push her back far enough. I need a square. Oh! Square for the win! Level 7 defeats a level 12. I'm finally learning how this battle mechanic works. Oh, my family would be proud. Yes! Oh, these items are helping out a lot. Like, they really do help out. And we got a bow. Yay! Now that you've stopped investing in your simple delusions, maybe we can work with each other. I suppose that's a possibility. I don't much care for you, but you're right. My son has disgraced the Prattle name, and there's no use hiding it. Everyone knows. But very few people seem to realize that it's Professor Chatters' fault that he acted out in his boyish daydreams. Yes, indeed. That's an angle my husband and I have never fully considered. It isn't my son's fault he toyed with romantic fantasies. Every young man does it. The blame should be firmly placed on someone else. Okay. Everyone steps up to the cliff's edge or another while they're young, but few step off. A superior officer should have provided guidance away from that cliff. Instead, Chatters pushed, and your son fell, bringing down the Prattle name. Could it be that I was invited to this party to play the fool once again? Was taking my son from me not enough for Chatters? It's possible. We're all currently trapped here by his mechanical manipulation. He could be capable of many devious and petty acts. I, for one, have had enough of this absurdity. I'm going to demand to see the professor immediately. You go do that. You go, girl. Demand your demands. It's not going to work, but it's okay. Servant, I require your presence. I'm the only person here of that noble profession, so you must be referring to me. If you don't allow me to see the professor this very minute, I'm going to... To what, exactly? You're going to get even more drunk on the great professor's fine wines? I've barely had a few drinks. And yet, I can practically smell your breath from across the table. Do us all a favor and enjoy the hospitality you've been shown. This little experiment won't last much longer, I assure you. Oh, snap! How dare you walk away from me? What a curious situation. Well, I've had enough to hear with all of this. The professor will pay for spoiling this Prattle name and trapping me in this little charade. She's not very happy. I don't blame her, though. Let's see how the professor's marvelous invention withstands an 11-year-old aged bottle of watermelon port. Is she gonna throw it across the room? Oh. Miss Prattle, what in the world are you doing? Something I should have done earlier this evening. The professor suggested we enjoy the wine, and I plan to do just that. You haven't thought this through. Mr. Bacall is absolutely correct. That's a priceless Opal Carlin in your hand. Surely you meant to grab the Ambleton. Just throw it. Who cares? Wine's wine. Ugh. Oh? That was pretty cool. Dear heavens, that Opal Carlin barely had the chance to breathe. This is truly a sad day for good port, Mr. Boasting. Seriously, you guys are mourning for the wine? What is wrong with you guys? That is an adequate assessment, Mr. McCall. Even as a former serviceman, I can hardly say I've seen something quite so ghastly. Uh-oh. I think we made him mad. I'm really not gonna be surprised if he tells us to like kill each other or something like that. Like I'm still waiting for that turning point. I guess I've been reading too many like mystery novels, and that's always how they turn out, you know, like a group of people sent to one place and a mysterious host who may be one of them. Yeah, you guys know the stories. So I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be a crazy twist though. According to my readouts, the mouth has been thoroughly soaked in liquid and glass. That's not the good news though. The good news is that it still functions flawlessly. This is in no small part due to my tedious preparations, of course. I am a certified genius. And although I'm literally quivering with anger, I have to appreciate the fact that my invention was put through this test of passion. You're a monster, Chatters. You've been nothing but a blight to my family. I realize that some of you might be saying that I am some kind of monster. To that, I must reenact my scoff from earlier. Scoff! Now that my throat has been thoroughly cleared, let me make something even clearer. Extra clear. Clearer than my now scoffed throat. So he's saying that he can't hear us. I don't buy that 100%. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be a genius, but all of you should remain here until my research has been fully finished. Do any of you contest?
Yo.
You can't expect us not to take issue with this. I presume so. Some of you have taken issue with this. Fair enough. And I must confess that none of you have any say in the matter. And that is that. The blasted professor can't hear us, Mr. McCall. Your silver tongue is of no use. And I feel quite a fool for attempting to engage in this devilish discourse. Don't be too hard on yourself, Mr. McCall. There's not much we can do in the face of this terrible power he has over us. Ah, yes. And before I forget, Miss Gossip, I require your presence in my study within the next 5 minutes. Me? Yes, you, Miss Gossip. Although I'm only repeating myself out of the childish joy at this point, the mouth is a rather fun contraption. I shall leave you to your evening. Please refrain from harming the mouth any more than you already have.
Yeah.
That dirty scoundrel. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's his, what? Okay. Also, has anybody thought about buying some earplugs? Getting some of the corks from the wine and just jamming it in your ears so you don't have to listen to them and then you could just go on your way? No? Not an idea? Oh, he is his own person. For someone who practically assaulted a servant trying to get in here earlier, you're awfully calm. I don't like much being persuaded into your study by that mouth. Excuse me if I'm a bit tired. You're a photographer, correct? I am. The head photographer at Messinbo. Messinbo? What does a bottling company need with a photographer? Everyone needs a photographer, Mr. Chatters. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and you know how important words can be. More than anyone, perhaps. The real question is, why did you invite me to this gathering without knowing my profession or place of work? That's not a matter of importance. Yet. For now, we have business. Business? I have plenty more questions. Why have you called us here? Why us? How does the mouth work? Why can't we leave? Go over there and just kick that thing that's coming out of his desk. There's an ancient story of a man who held the power of words in his hand. Quite literally, the word was engraved on a stone. When he spoke the word aloud, people would simply collapse. Furthermore, he was immune to all forms of discourse. No matter what the outcome of the conversation, he would walk away unscathed, completely in control. You ignore my questions. You must let me finish, Miss Gossip. Even without my machine, I am much more skilled than you are. You stand no chance. In the legends, it was thought that the stone held the power, and the word activated that power, but I believe otherwise. I believe that the word written on any object can be wielded as mightily as any sword. To hold it is to know it and use it. Why would a renowned man of science invest in such a fairy tale? What good is magic to a professor? Magic has its place in the world. Magic is simply a term for science we do not yet understand. Miss Seymour was a strong woman. She had most of the other houses under her control. My inside sources say that she showed signs of having the word. No need to get into the details, but everyone knows she was quite powerful, invincible. That is, until I convinced Private Prattle to seduce her and leave the country. Okay. If this word existed, she surely took it with her. Not necessarily. There's hardly reason to hold on to objects in the passions of a nighttime tryst. Once fully disrobed, Prattle convinced her to leave. Okay. The small details of the situation are hard to explain, but I assure you there's no chance she took the object with her. William made certain of it. William? It's a servant. The remainder of the guests have calmed down for now, Professor. The mouth has upset them, but they show no signs of leaving. Excellent work, William. I was just informing Miss Gossip about my master plan. I hope you left some details to her vivid imagination. Not many. I like to be fairly thorough when divulging secret conspiracies to semi-strange guests. Yeah, because that's what all arch-villains do. I don't trust it. So you used Miss Seymour's servant to ensure that she fled the estate without any of her personal belongings? Little good it did. She apparently hid the word away before attempting private prattling. And this is where you come in, Miss Gossip. You are a fresh set of eyes and ears. You are quite persuasive to boot. Your powers of suggestion have pitted Miss Prattle against us. That's a new mess we need to clean. More importantly, you get along well with Seymour, heir to the Seymour house. He must have some information. Why not question him yourself? Why not use the mouth? We will if we have to, but for now it's best not to apply too much pressure, and using the mouth would inform everyone of our plan. As stupid as this plan sounds, what makes you think I'll go along with it? You refuse? I'm not daft. Of course I refuse. Allow me to persuade you then. Oh, sweet lord. Level 40? Level 40? There's no... It says lose before I even pick anything. You guys see that? My bar is on lose. Like, I'm going to pick an action and I'm going to lose. It's going to be like, oh, you tried. That's cute. Bye now. Yeah. There's no way. I got a lot of money. Yeah, $58. Turns out you're a much better listener than I thought you thought. Than you thought, eh? Than I thought you thought? That makes sense. Now, here's the deal. You're going to wean as much information about the word as possible from young Master Seymour without letting on too much about our plan. See, why? I understand that, like, they don't want to let everybody know, but if the mouth is there, then why not put Seymour in a different area, then have the mouth tell everybody else that they're going to ignore any information they hear about what's going on? Or is it not like, it's almost like hypnosis? Like, can't they just, like, not listen to it or forget about it? Or, I don't know, tell them all to meet in the wine cellar and then bring Seymour out. I feel like there's a lot of different ways you could do this. There's got to be an underlying plan. It can't be this simple. Once you've discovered information we might find of use, your report to William. Calling me sir is an option, but not a demand. I also prefer pet names like Your Highness, Mr. Superior. Go with whatever feels right. Okay, Mr. Fluffy Face. Is this perfectly clear? I'll be done before you know it. Chapter 3, Futility, or a fate worse than mild inconvenience. Okay. And now we can move around. Oh, the save point hasn't changed though. That's good. Okay, let's go ahead and save for this episode because I feel like we're making a lot of good progress. And I'm doing a little bit better with all of the battles and things, but there's no way I'm going to be able to defeat Mr. Chatters himself. So what, I've got those there. I still need... I guess I could buy 2 of the bows. Sure. Oh, they get more expensive with each one. Of course. Charisma Boost B. What's this one do? Like Charisma Boost, it inspires Seymour to break beyond level 12. I still don't know what that does or if it helps. Let's go ahead and get one more. Alright, now... Okay, so these don't change, just the price of the bows that do. I'm good here, so let's back out. And then we can use that for here. Yes. Well, equip it. I need to equip it. There we go. Okay, so we're level 2 with the wines. I feel like we're making some pretty good progress. I'm going to leave this episode here, and then that way we've got a brand new chapter to start, some more information to gather, but I get the hang of it, and I actually like it quite a bit, like, because you have that lock over the person that you need to kind of, like, go against, and you know that you have to fight them at the end, but you're gathering information so that you can get them to break, to get them upset enough to even challenge you in a verbal debate, and then the ball gets rolling. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad I stuck it through. The first episode obviously was the toughest because I was trying to learn the mechanics, but now that I understand how they work, I think things are going to be a lot smoother and a lot more interesting. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's play. Ah yes, that gorgeous white-haired cat truly livens up the old estate. Ho ho! Rumor has it you can upgrade your bows if you talk to her, but honestly that makes no sense. Blasted rumors. You can upgrade your bows by talking to a cat?